Okay, so today we're going to be checking out the DP104. This is actually pre-built, but it's pre-built, but it's by oh yeah, I'll post it. But it's by the same company that's ran by, so this is QWERTY Keys, but they've broken off into a couple different sections, right? So you have QWERTY Keys, you have Owl Labs, and within like QWERTY Keys, you have like the Neo and the QK, and now they have like a third one, which is Tick Type, which is, I want to say they're like newer, but from what I've seen, it seems like maybe they've been around for a little bit. No. So they're like all together, but like Tick Type is like the fully built. So you know like the Evos. So it's kind of similar. Like they're focusing on the pre-built, right? So now you have Owl Labs, which is like they're like high premium. Hi Kim. They have QWERTY Keys, which has like the QK and the Neo line that you can still build. And now they have Tick Type, which is going to be like the Evo or like the DP104. Okay, so Owl Labs, QWERTY Keys, and then Tick Type. Okay, and I'm guessing Tick Type is just going to be mostly pre-built, and so the one we're checking out today is actually already built, but that's okay. I think it's still worth checking it out. This one does go live, or it starts shipping. Starts shipping soon. Let's see. So it will be released on the 15th, so 2 more days. Yeah. So this is gonna start at $199. Pre-done stock. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it is. So this is a $200 pre-built, right? Okay, so first impressions is it has a really fancy case, right? This is actually, it looks tan on my camera, or it looks tan on my top down, but if you look at my face cam, it's actually a gray. So you can see, it's like a gray with like the red seam, right? So the fact that it comes with a carrying case, I do think is really nice. So you have the Tick Type right here, and then you have the DP104. Nice color, nice little accent color. It does come with a handle. Okay, so I'll just open it and see what we're working with. What color do we have? It comes in 4 different colors. Okay. So we have the powder white. So there's a first light, there's a powder white, a blue sky, a getcha gray, and then a cat paw pink. Okay, so let's see. So another Tick Type right here. Tick Type, quick start guide, DP104. Ooh, so this is what, a USB cable and a keycap puller. These are extra switches. So these are the, let's see. They have different switches. These are the Rye linear switches, okay? Warranty card. What is this? User manual. Okay, I'll keep this one out. It is tri-mode. Oh, here's extra keycaps. That's really nice. Looks like here are like extra ribbon cables. Oh, and then the connector. We want to use it. I think it's really nice that they actually do give you extra switches just in case. Alright. And I'm looking in here. Ooh. So here is a keyboard itself. Before removing the protective film, carefully inspect the keyboard for cosmetic defects. If you find any issues, please contact your seller immediately for warranty evaluations. Okay. So, it is a full-size keyboard for those who like the big boys. It is full-size. Full-size pre-built. Price point at $199. Woo! I'm gonna go ahead and open it. I feel like usually when a non-keyboard enthusiast wants to like buy a keyboard, it's usually full size. And I don't know if that's like what they're used to or if it's like what they actually like or that's like all they know. If that makes sense. So like sometimes they don't know you can live without a numpad. Yeah, I mean some people do, but I think it's one of those things where like it's what they know. So do you watch any other Keep streamers? Oh, Oxy. Can we see him here? What? Whoa, Diego! Oh, wow. This is definitely catering to a certain crowd. I don't know if you can hear that. Hold on. I mean, it is like, I would say this is one of the most popular sound profiles, right? Especially when you're going from like keyboards before that obviously did not sound like this to this now being like the main sound. And it's popular for a reason, so I get why they went this route. But you can get these linear switches or you can actually get silent switches if that's like what you prefer. But yeah, so just like right off the bat, you know, this, since this is pre-built, this is what it will sound like. The stabilizers are actually fine, right? This one, something's a little weird with that one, but yeah, I mean, stabs so far off the bat are okay. Alright, but yeah, let's just look at the board. Let's just look at it. So, I'm gonna put my mic over here. Can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me if my mic is right there? Yes, right. Yeah. So this is the DP104. This is being sold at TickType, but it is a full-size keyboard. And this one, it comes in, what is it, 4 different colors? Let's see, let me make sure. Yeah, No, it comes in 5 different colors. It comes in 5 different colors. This one is the powder white. It's a very thematic board. The other ones have like different accents. This one I would say is one of the more thematic ones. There's like a mecha gray one that also has like a little bit more accents, while the other ones kind of play it a little safer. But this one I would say is like the colorful beige one. They have one that is also very similar to beige, but a little bit more muted. And then you have this one that has like a bit more like pop of color. So full size layout, right? You do have just like the beige with the accent red, yellow, and blue. And then you can actually see that on the keycap legends, at least for the F keys. So you see yellow, red, blue, and green. Here we have this little accent red piece, you know, right under the nav cluster. And then you have this like yellow one right here. So this actually is, hold on. Let me plug it in real quick so you can see what it looks like. Whoa. Look at that. Why? Yeah. You got the scrolling LED sign going on. So, lots of RGB, lots of bling bling, but overall, like, this one I like. It does have like a pop of color. This is very interesting. I haven't really seen anything like it. Oh, wow. Okay, so oh, oops. Oh, my pa my password. Yeah, basically this is a screen to oh, oops. Oh, okay, it I thought whenever I tapped it, it like turned off. I was like, oh my god, is that happening? Oh, I guess it just like resets over time. Yeah, so this is their idea of like a screen. But you can change. So it does have 2 buttons on here, right? So this one changes the display. This is like the scrolling LED. This is to turn it off. Tick type. Custom. Whoa. Info. Spark. It doesn't actually do anything. Audio? Oh. It's listening. It's listening to what I'm saying. Whoa. Okay, then we go back to scroll. And then this is what changes the color for all of that. Speak in Chinese. You guys have heard me speak Chinese before. Can I change the spark colors? Oh, I can. I like the spark. I like the bling bling. Yeah, I know. Okay, so if you're someone that likes something like this, I think this is the first time I've seen something like this. At least you don't see this with like custom boards, but maybe for like pre-built boards, this is something that you would see more often, but it is like an 8-bit pixelated LED thing, right? not not quite LCD, but more like LED because it's like the single pixels. Um, yeah, so you do have this part that has replaced some keys, but you know, that's why is that why it's called the DP104, right? But yeah, you do have this like little screen with two buttons that you can change through. Uh, this actually functions as a volume button right now, right? So this is volume up, this would be volume down, as you may or may not be able to hear. So these are also two functional buttons. This one, it has like the little light bar on this part and also right here. Yeah. Oh, and then another thing is that there is like a little border around the escape key, just like there's like an undercarriage on the nav cluster, and then they've replaced these four keys up here with just this LED screen. Neat, right? And then if you look at the keycaps, they actually match the screen because you can see they're like the pixels, right? The pixels. MJ, thank you for the prime. Hello. You don't hate this keyboard? Well, going back to what Jared said, saying that this is inexpensive for a pre-built, I feel like this is pretty, or while it is expensive, like if you look at Corsair or Razors, like 200, and like even like the Pulsars, like 200 I think is like pretty standard these days. At least for certain brands, right? So, you get a fully pre-built keyboard that is made by a brand that already does custom keyboards, all for $200. That's not too bad, right? Tick type. I'm posting social media. Oh yeah, I don't like IQ. But some people, like the people in the IQ network though, they're like very, very loyal. Oh yeah, my phone is like, this is a big keyboard. Yeah, I think so too, but you know, people do be like that. Sorry. I think it's this cable. This cable does really bad. Is it still doing it? Okay. Sorry, I can't hear it. This cable is so pretty, but just doesn't do really well with like boards that need a lot of power, unfortunately. Okay, I'm posting on social media really quick. Oh, no! Shit. I don't have Twitter Premium, so I can't edit my tweets. Ain't no way. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. But yeah. Sorry, interloper, if you're editing this. We had to make a cut. But anyways. Yeah. So that's a top. And then let's look at the side. Whoa, I like this like little red accent on the side. This one's really nice because so you see this little accent side piece, right? Which I feel like this kind is not very common, right? Like only being found on like the side piece like this, because you don't see this red like anywhere else throughout the board, or at least on the edges. Nope, it's different color. It's just let's see. Yeah, isn't that cool? It's like an accent side piece. Only accent side piece. It does have like the little dots following the little LED sign, and it is caved in a little bit, so if you need to like lift it up, your finger does kind of catch into this groove right here, as you can see. But yeah, it's just like a little accent side piece right there. The board, if you look, it does have this like little seam that's a little spaced out, right? So it's not like fully closed. There is like a bit of a gap. And then, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is like, it is two-toned. Yeah, it is two-toned, right? So this one's a powder white, but then this one is like a little slightly off gray. It looks close, right? Like at first glance, you might not be able to tell that it's different colors, but as you look at it more, it's actually two different colors. It does technically stand on its own, if that's important to you guys. Here is the back. Okay, so once again, following the theme from the front part, right? So here you can really tell, right? But check this out, right? So what they've done is they have this like yellow accent right here. This part is your accent weight, but it matches your top case. So the bottom case is a different coloring. You have the name of it right here. You have the tick type right here. And then this is very interesting because what they've done is the shiny part is underneath, and what they've done is they've cut out, you know, this part, right? So you can see the shiny, but your fingers don't actually like grab the shiny unless you like grab it right here. But instead of like cutting or milling or putting the design on like the shiny weight that would go across, what they've opted to do is put it underneath and then put a secondary thing on top. So you still do kind of get like the shiny part of it, right? But without like the whole thing just being like boom. Okay, this part does recess a little bit in. You can remove this. This is removable, right? You do have the TicType branding, two spots right here, right here. No, this is just like a sticker. And then you do have the 4 square feet. Yeah, I think this idea is like really cool, right? Especially if you're someone who's like prone to like fingerprint magnets. Oh my god, I already see it. I don't know if I've really seen a board do something like this. I'd say the closest thing maybe like the similar idea where it's like, well, actually not even. I was gonna say Kohaku, but not even. Kohaku in the sense of like it has a cover, but then you can see the thing on the bottom. But this is executed differently, right? It's basically using the cutout of like the top piece with the shiny part underneath, right? But normally, normally what you would see, right, is they would basically, these would be individual pieces that you would have to screw on to the case, or that's screwed on to the case, right? However, this is a cheaper way to do it because instead of like cutting out all the pieces and making sure it has like a screw point into like the case, right? All they have to do is, you know, cut it out from one piece and then put the shiny underneath and just figure out a way to like secure it together. So what I'm guessing is there's screws to just like hold this piece together. Um, and then you no longer have to worry about like one accent weight or like individual pieces, right? So it's kind of cool. This is the powder white. This is the powder white. But yeah, I think this is actually a very smart way to do it. And you know, you actually see this a lot with scrapbooking, but I haven't seen this before in keyboards. At least like the boards I've built, right? But yeah, once again, you have like the color accent. And then here's the USB port side. So centered USB port. There is like this groove right here. So this kind of follows this groove as well. So I'm guessing if you're trying to like lift it up, you kind of have a place to grab onto if you need to, right? There's also this slant right here that it can grab as well. But here you see the 2 buttons, so Windows, Mac, and then your tri-mode connectivity, and it's different colors, so that's really nice. Um, Blue for Bluetooth. But yeah, so you have the 3 choices here, and they have it labeled. They have it labeled, so you know. As you can see, it is labeled. Do I know why Bluetooth is called Bluetooth? No. Do you? And then here is the front lip. So here you can really see like the two-tone, right? Hmm. Why is it named after him? Oh, okay. I see, I see. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. We're talking about this board. So this is a pre-built board. TLDR, you know how like QWERTY Keys has Owl Labs? Well, they now have a third like sub-brand, which is TicType, and they specialize with like the pre-built. So they're taking like the DP104, they're also taking like the Evos as well. Right, we just looked over the case, and since it is pre-built, right, since it is pre-built, it was already ready to go, but we can take it. Do you guys want to take it apart? Let me see. EO98. Which one am I getting? Uh, I'm getting the Neo 98. Yes. Do you guys want to know what color I'm getting? Yeah, let's see. Or I'll keep it a surprise. Keep it a surprise for you guys. Oh, cherries. 谢谢. Are I went to Costco today. Bought a whole big box of cherries. Hello, Lord Server. What's up? Okay. So I'm gonna read off. Let's put this sheet out. Okay. So I'm gonna read off the some of the details while I'm removing this, but the name DP comes from D-pad, classic symbol of handheld consoles that define so many childhood memories. So that's where the name comes from, which kind of makes sense, right? After seeing this. Some specs that we've already talked about. It has the interactive pixel display that we saw. Has ambient lighting and volume control, which we also saw like right here. All these buttons are functional. It kind of looks like a toy, but they are like fully functional. Has RGB. We also talked about that. Let's see. The plate, all the models come with PP plate, but there are two switches that you can choose from. You can pick these Ri-linears, or you can pick a silent one. Cloud silent tactile switch. So if you want tactile, it will be silent. What else? Yeah, it only has PP plate, but you have two switches that you can pick from. These keycaps are PBT. Yeah. Those are all the specs for those who might have missed it whenever we were talking about it. But we did look at the screen for a little bit. Does it say? They're pretty thick. These are not thin keycaps by any means. 5-side die sub process. Do they feel good? Yeah, they're not like as smooth as like CRP. Okay, it has been taken apart. So yeah, you're gonna have plate mount stabilizers. The plate installed is going to be PP. I think that's like the only one it comes with. The only choices that you do have is the switches, and it looks like it is a fixed layout, right? So you can't do like stepped or regular caps lock. And then it is hot swappable, which makes sense because they give you extra switches so you can swap it out. And yeah, it does use triple foam system according to the description. Patty, can you explain the draw hype around CRP keycaps? It's just really, really high quality PPT. It is beige that a lot of people like, so it matches everything. It also has crazy kitting that you don't really see with other keycaps, right? Yeah, you have like the OG colors, you have like the very specific rows. It's like I forget what it's called. Basically the bottom row is going to be like taller. Um oh, the switches are not here. R5, yeah. The R5 row. Let's see. Oh, it uses ball catch. Oh, it uses ball catch. Okay, well that's good to know. But yeah, it's just really high quality material. Yeah, the dye sub quality. It's just there's a lot about it that people like, right? Yeah, it is a pogo screen. So it uses the pogo screen here. And it's interesting because if you look at it, this is just one piece. Because these are two functional buttons, but they've just made it one long piece. CRP is very good value for the quality you get. Yeah, then the kitting is just, there's a lot, right? So, hi Meep, thanks for the resub. But yeah, basically Meep Nessa's asking what the hype around CRP is or was, so I'm explaining why. So it does use ball catch, but it's very interesting because for a full-size keyboard, it only uses 6, right? It uses 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. Like, there's no mechanism on the numpad. Also, none, like, on the side, right? Well, not usually ball catch doesn't have it on the side, but it's all in the center. There's no, like, mechanism on the edges, right? Which is interesting that that is a design. You can see the accent weight on the front has the 2 screws right here. You see the screen and like the buttons on like on the top are just one funky like daughter board that's screwed into the case. Aside from that, I'm curling this. It does use the pogo pin, which is nice. And then here we can see. Just ploop this out. This is also pogo pin. Okay, so this uses a leaf spring. Oh. Whoa. Okay, so this is a hybrid between a leaf spring mount and also a silicone sleeve gasket. Or a gasket mount. Because what you've done is the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 on the bottom, so 8 mounting points. However, the bottom, it's still the same, but you can see it has these leaf springs that have been screwed onto 2 points in the middle, right? And then you have the 2 parts that are elevated like this. And instead of having like one individual, it's one long silicone gasket that connects to the plate, and then the 2 sides rest on it like that. Does that make sense? So basically you have the silicone sock, that goes onto the plate, but then instead of like friction fitting into the case, there are these leaf spring points where the silicone sock will then sit on top of, right? So I'm guessing that's what really gives it like that bounce, because you have silicone mounting, which is going to be less stiff than like top mount, for example. But then when you add leaf spring, which is, I would say, one of the more, or one of the most like bouncy, flexy feelings, right? You're now combining the two, right? So you do have that. And this just slides on, as you can see right here. Very interesting. Thank you for the follow. Usually I've seen leaf spring where it's like, for example, this tab would have something right here, this tab would have something right here, but they wouldn't be connected, they would be separated, right? But instead what they've done is they've just connected the two parts, so it's just one big piece like that. Okay. And if you've never like used leaf spring before, the idea with leaf spring mount is that it's kind of similar to like gasket in the sense of it's not like attached to like the top case. It is attached onto the bottom case, but then it's elevated, so it's like a spring, right? And then you would then attach the mounting onto the springs. So while it's attached to the bottom case, right, it's elevated and a little bouncy, and then the mounting points you would then find ways to implement like a gasket or a screw onto this, right? Not a screw, but just like a gasket piece. Basically some way to, you know, mount either your PCB or your plate. So the idea is if you do this, it's like a spring, right? Like it will bounce back up. And so that kind of gives you like that bouncy feeling, especially when you're typing. So yeah, I kind of went off into tangent there, but hopefully you guys understood. Looks like it does have the case, like the double case foam. Oh, and then here are the little accent pieces I was talking about. So instead of doing like a middle tray for like the accent or the, like the side seam, they've just opted to do like two separate pieces right here. And then I'm guessing this is what connects, like, you know, we're just gonna take it off. We're just gonna open it. We're gonna open it. I've decided we're just gonna open it. Are you thinking about getting CRP, Ness? That's too big. I'm a certified beige hater, but even I have CRP. Oh, I love I love PBT. My only gripe with CRP is that, you know, it's like not cute. Yeah, I don't like beige, but I love PBT. Like my bear has PBT keycaps. Okay, these actually use a different one. Let's see, this is one. Couple, are you having fun? Yeah, this is my sexo playlist. This is my this is my James Vickery. Okay, look. Hello, Schmore. What's up? Okay, so what we're working with here is where the battery compartments are, right? You do have, oh, you do have like a gap right here. So the daughter board to basically control this, right, is screwed onto this yellow accent piece. So you can see this PCB thing right here. It has the batteries right here, and the batteries connect here and here. The daughter board also connects right here, right? And then here you can see this was the idea. They've actually taped it. They did not put a screw, they just taped it. That's funny. It's snowy as hell here. I was sliding all over the road driving home. Oh my gosh. Be safe. I mean, yeah, they just taped it. I mean, yeah, it's a choice. You know what? I'm just not gonna bother it. It is taped, so that's how they're keeping it in place, but you can see it's very thin, right? But what they've done is they cut out this outside, and then they just put the shiny one like right there. Boom. And then they just taped it. But this doesn't interfere. Yeah, you could technically take this out and then you would see the battery. It exposed the battery. Yeah, you could take this out and replace it with something else. Yep, you could do that as well. Yep. But this shouldn't really interfere with the sound because you do have this like quote unquote middle bottom case thing, so it won't affect the sound. Who's Scott Hunter? Wait, is that the hockey player? Oh, okay. The one in the closet guy. Okay, we're gonna just assemble it back together. And then we're actually gonna talk a little bit about what they're doing for the ball catch and how to like there's only 6 6 places where it closes together. Let's see. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is they have these like little silicone pieces right here. So these are adhesive. You see these like little, these act as like the force break and also to prevent any moving of the case. You have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different places. I unfortunately don't know where this one went, so I'm gonna have to find it later. But also I messed this up by picking it up. Oh, I see it's right here. Don't worry, I see it, you guys. Is it bad that anytime I see a video of like a funny guy, I just assume he's gay? Because I feel like a lot of straight men don't have like good humor. Sorry. Oh wait, oops. Sorry. When I watch a video, I'm like, oh, this person's funny. I bet he's not straight. There's this one guy I see a lot, and I don't have proof, but I'm pretty sure he's just like a performative male. And I have weird vibes about. There's this Asian guy that always talks about his vasectomy, and I get weird vibes from him. Like, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure he's a performative male. Like, that's like the vibe I get from him. Like, something about him just does not feel like very genuine. You guys know who I'm talking about? Rusty, do you know who I'm talking about? Also, there was a video I watched today about another potter who basically got upset because someone copied um like someone basically quote unquote like copied her rice cooker idea even though she copied the rice cooker. It it was a very hard video for me to watch. I was not good. Wait, Oxy, do you know who I'm talking about? Well, it's basically this guy who's talking about like he's just trying to convince more men like why they should get a vasectomy, and he just is always talking about why he thinks it's like the greatest thing, and there's always talks about, you know, not having to worry, and I don't know, there's something very, very like, there's something very weird about that guy, but well, he's not gay. No, he's not gay, but I'm saying performative in the sense of like, I just feel like you don't need to boast about it in the sense of like, I love my vasectomy because that means I can, I don't need protection. And it's why do you keep mentioning that? Like, I feel like if you really cared about the woman, that wouldn't be like your main takeaway point, right? Yeah, like he's basically saying like, I love a vasectomy because I don't have to, I can be like unsafe about it. And like the women not having to take contraceptions is like secondary, but it's a very, I don't know how to explain it. There's something about him that like gives me the ick. Something about it that, usually women's intuition is well, it's performative because he will talk about like, I got it because now other women, they don't have to worry about it, you know. But he just always feels like the point to like bring up like, plus like you get to do it raw. It's like he talks about women and why he's doing it for women. Meanwhile, just like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like maybe if you guys watched it, maybe you guys would see it. Um, but basically the idea, he's like, hey, I'm that guy that got the vasectomy. And here's why you should too, and it's like, man. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. But I think if you just saw the way like he talks and does his other videos and um I don't know. There's just something about the guy that I'm like, something weird. There's something weird about him. I can't quite explain it, right? I just think he's trying to be like, I'm so progressive, I'm so cool, you should have sex with me because I have a vasectomy, so it's fine. you know? It's like, oh my gosh. Also, sorry, sponsored stream, my bad. Dude, Oxy, what kind of videos are you watching? Do you know what guy I'm talking about? Okay, but yeah, so no, you're fine. You're fine. It was nothing too crazy. Okay, so the Potter drama. Can we talk about it? So basically, there's a Potter who was talking about how. So she makes these like little ceramic rice cooker, replicas. Not replicas, but like these little ceramic rice cookers that looks like a rice cooker. She sells them for $200. $200, okay? Like these little like, so it's like imagine like a pot, but it has like the lid and it looks like a rice cooker. Okay. She sells it for $200. Like, go off, queen. Like, pop off. Like, if you can get people to buy it, then yeah, I mean, great. Here's the issue is that she got mad because someone tagged her because someone else had made a rice cooker, right? And the whole video was just talking about like, are we all inspired by each other or are we copying each other? And her just like discussing about what the lines are between just like copying and being inspired by someone. And she basically got tagged, and then she actually asked that potter to take down her listing, to basically like not sell it. She was basically like, you're copying me, like, can you please take down that listing? And then, but in the video, she talks about how she literally copied the rice cooker that she came up with growing up, and was like, she's like, I'm not trying to like undermine like what people grew up with, but you know, like, I came up with this idea and then someone copied the way I executed it, and it made me uncomfortable. It was like, oh my goodness. I kind of got like a little bit of PTSD because I was like, ugh. I don't know. And it's hard because like um yeah. The reason why I'm like kind of like ooh about it is because I kind of faced something similar. Uh so that's why it just kind of like triggered me. And I guess I would have to see the other person's like thing they were selling, but basically she contradicted herself because she's just like, like, this person copied me and I asked her to take it down and like the person did, but it made me feel so weird. And she's just like ranting and ranting, and then later in the video she's like, yeah, I copied the design from the rice cooker I grew up with. And it's like, so girly, like, just because you quote unquote did it first, like no one else can do it. Like, you're not the only one who grew up using that rice cooker. Like, unless that's like something like your parents invented that only your family had, and like no one else in the world had it, and you made it exact replica of that one, like, chances are, there's gonna be other people who have had the same rice cooker as you and like want to make replicas of it, you know? Well, that's the thing, is that she was like, I made it. I'm one of the first people to make it, and like people are copying me. And the one person's like, bro, there was another girl who has already been making these rice cooker things. Like, you are not the first one. Uh, and so that was, oh, here. Like, there were some valid points in her videos, but I kind of had like a hard time watching it. Like, there's definitely parts I understand, like, yeah, like, it just, her argument just wasn't very consistent. I just, maybe I'm biased because I have like bad experience with this, but maybe someone unbiased can watch the video and tell me what they think, okay? Like, just something about the video that I was like, you're not the only one who like grew up with a rice cooker. Okay, so you guys can tell me. Like, she had some valid points, and I get it. Like, if it's like a one for one, like you do something quirky and they copy it, like that I get. Like, say she makes a rice cooker and then she decides to like add swirly handles, to make it like cute, and then someone else does that too, right? Even though that's like not the original design, but if you're doing like a replica of a rice cooker and then you get mad that someone else does that too, it's like, well, you're not the only one who owns that rice cooker, right? So if you guys want to watch it and tell me what you think. Down while I put these on. I just feel like, the person, took it down and like she still wasn't happy, still made a video, like still basically like calling them out, and it's like, dang. But I don't know. I don't know like if I'm just like biased and I'm like just already predisposed to like not like her argument, but you know what I think it is? Here's the truth. She feels like her livelihood is being threatened, so she's trying to secure that and protect that. But I feel like virtue signaling it under the guise as like this person copied me, I'm the, whenever your design is not like quote unquote original and also inspired, then it's just like you just don't want people taking your business, which makes sense, right? But I feel like that's something you just need to be upfront with instead of like um instead of like, asking this person to take down the listing, which they did, and then proceeding to like go on social media to be like, yeah, this person did this to me, and please validate that I was right in doing so. And I don't know. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it's like, there's so many Asians out there. And for you to like try and only capitalize, right? Like you thinking you're the only one that, can make this one thing is, I think, kind of ridiculous. It's like you're not the only Asian person out there that grew up with a rice cooker that is also into ceramics. Like even if you're one of the first ones to do that, it's like, what, you're just gonna invalidate like all the other Asians that grew up with a rice cooker that also do ceramics and want like mementos of their childhood. Like it's a very strange thing to me to be like um, at the end of the day, what it is she's worried about her livelihood being threatened, and she's trying to like, I feel like she's trying to like put it under the guise of like, this person copied me. But like in the video, she also says like, I copied this rice cooker, But I understand, like there are designs that you do and you design by your like on your own, and like you have your own spin, you have your own style, and for someone to just like copy it like detail to detail, Like, I get that, right? But when you're inspired and you decide to like make a replica of something and then someone else does the same thing, it's like, can you really be mad at them when you did it did it too? And like, you may think you're the only one who did it, but think about all the people who don't post on social media, you know? I don't know. I don't know if I'm just being like overly mean about it. But I watched the video and I was like, man, the this video I feel like makes her look bad. Hello, Killswitch. What's up? Oh shit. Sorry. Sorry. I remember. I remember now. My bad. Okay, good. I know. Yeah, right? Like I feel like some points are definitely valid, but I wish I could tell her like, girl, you're not the only one who grew up with the rice cooker. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But here's the thing is that she did not show us, like, she didn't show in the video, um she didn't show in the video like the other person's thing, right? But at the end of the day, it's just it's something I was thinking about because like whenever the the occult thing happened to me, it's like to this day I still drink Yakult every week. Like it's like such a staple in my life. And for someone to just be like, and I was like, I want to create Yakult things, and for someone to be like, no, you can't. You know, you can't do that because someone else already did that. It's like, what? What? You'll be my IP lawyer for free? Nice. For free? Oh my gosh, saw your girlfriend. It's so cute. She like panic messaged me. She's like, oh my god, I meant to send that to Zai. But I responded to you. And I was like, girl, it's okay. It's okay. Oh my gosh, speaking of desk mats and bongos, I need to enter. I need to enter into it. But I have something similar, but I'm still gonna enter. I have like the angel one, but okay, hold on. You'll be my doctor? Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Alright, Dr. Dave. What I do if my lymph node has been swollen for the last 3 or 4 days? 3 days. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah. And then she went on the whole day panicking, asking me if I I asked my mom and dad, and they're like, "Oh, 你要生病了." 你要生病了. Basically, like, you're about to get sick. They're like, "Oh, girl, you about to get sick." Like, oh no. Oh no. No, I saw it. Well, so hers was a message request. So I didn't see it until you sent me the message, and I was like, oh, okay, let me go see. She's like, I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh, you're okay. I mean, my mom will take care of me if I get sick. I know that. She's been very, very, very nice to me. My mom. I think the fight really shook her up. I think. She's been very nice to me. Desert Oasis? Okay. One moment, please. Alright, guys. This is the DP104 that uses a PP plate with right linear switches. It uses all the foam. This is a leaf spring silicone gasket mount, and these are PBT keycaps. Okay. What do you guys think? So this was pre-built and I didn't change anything. We can hear it without the foam, but the board comes built like this, so if you guys are really interested, I can do it without foam, but this is just how the board comes. It is hot swap. You can't open it, right? But yeah, if you guys are interested, I can do that, but if not, then this is what you would get, like, immediately, right? Blast-induced hearing loss. What? What happened? Okay, hold on. Let me spit out this seed. Looks sweet. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it real quick. Hi, Grizz. I just started playing, Hades 2. Wait, oh my gosh. Hold on. Let's see. Currently, I have 10 hours in Hades 2, and I started last night. Oh, that's terrible. I basically played it yesterday. I ended stream at 3, and then I continued playing it until like 11 a.m. Yeah. I was just here, just like. But I got to Chronos, and I defeated Cyclops dude upstairs. So I'm making progress. I made very fast progress, okay? Okay, but anyways, I just wanted to say that real quick. I am alternating. I'm playing the weapon based on which makes me money. I'm not just tunnel visioning one weapon. I'm doing all the weapons. Although my favorite weapon so far has been the twin daggers. However, I actually do like the skulls. I beat Cyclops with the skulls, and I finished the boat level, and I got right before Olympus, and I had to fight what's her name? And I almost killed her. I almost defeated her. Whatever the lady we all hate's name is. I did get to her fight and almost killed her. I unfortunately had the trinket where it's like no, not Medusa. The one where it's like, you die, you have 10 seconds to kill your enemy, or else you die. And it does like the countdown. Like she was like so low, so low. I was low-key triggered, and I was like, I'm going back. I'm gonna fight Kronos. Okay, but anyways. Alright, so today we checked out the DP-104. This is so the name comes from D-pad, not for some reason I was thinking like gamepad. I was like, wait, that's G. But yeah, so this is the DP-104. This is gonna be an in-stock, or I think in stock. Either way, it is a pre-built, and this is from the third, or I guess second sister company of Owl Labs. So you have Owl Labs, QK/Neo, and now you have Tick Type, which will be housing, I guess, like the Evos and then the DPs, right? So this is the first of the DP line, so the D-pad. It is full size, as you can see. It'll come in 5 different colors. So this one I have right here is the powder white. However, there is a first light. So I'll show you guys the colors real quick. Or I'll show you guys the colors afterwards, but 5 different colors. I have the powdered white in case you guys are interested. Fully pre-built, you have the only choice you have is the color and also the switch. So you can either do a Rai linear switch, which is what I have, or you can do a silent tactile switch, right? And each of the colorway has its own like themed keycaps and themed colored. The accents on the boards will be different throughout the board. So what that means is you have this border around the escape key, you have this little shelf under the D-pad with 2 functioning buttons, you have this LED screen, right? And then you also have like this accent piece, and then you have a side accent piece. And each of those will be different depending on the colorway that you get. Also, the keycaps will be different colors as well. But this is the front side, so you can see the accent, the 2 red accents, and then you have the yellow accent, right? So if you're looking for something that doesn't quite have as much color but is still beige, they do have another one that is like a little bit more muted, but this one is like a little bit more colorful, kind of like Toy Blocks, RGB, right? So set layout, you can't do like stepped or regular caps. You're forced to the full caps set to the 6.25, but that's something that's very common, especially when there's pre-belts. However, they do give you like extra keycaps and extra switches in case like anything happens, because the board it uses ball catch and it also is hot swap. But all the buttons here are actually going to be fully functional, which is really nice. And this isn't like a true LED screen. It's like it's not a true LCD screen. It's like a LED, like a dot matrix screen, right? But yeah, there's a top. I forgot to mention, but there is branding right here. It's so subtle. It's so subtle. But do you see the DP104? There's like very subtle branding right here, and then the 104 also right here. So very subtle. But here is the top side. Here is the side. So these little red accents, these are individual pieces that you screw onto the side, but then it does have the duo tone top and bottom case. Backside, so how this works is they have just like a sheet of metal right here, and they've opted to just machine out this top part and just, you know, put the little sheet in here. So by doing that, they don't have to do like individual pieces. They can do it all on one weight, right? Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like this colorway. Here you see the tick type, and the name again. They put the D104 on this board a lot of times, like multiple times, but as long as you're okay with that branding, that is something that I noticed. But here you can see the yellow accent. Here you have the centered USB port. So this does have tri-mode, and this can also do Windows or Mac, and here are the switches right here. And then these buttons actually match like the accents on the case, right? So that's neat. And then centered USB port. And then here's the front lip. So board does use ball catch, so easy to assemble, disassemble if you need. It only has 6 mounting points for that, so 1, 2, 3, or it has 6 points for the case, so 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. You do have these like little adhesive silicone gaskets that are found throughout the edges of the case so it doesn't shift. And then the board uses a leaf spring. So it uses pogo pins, but it is a leaf spring. And the gasket it uses is like a silicone sock gasket on the plate. right? So I kind of went over this extensively earlier, but the bottom case uses a leaf spring, right? And normally you would have individual like gaskets or things holding it in place, but they've opted to just do one long part and just put it up top like that, right? So normally this would be, or like the ones I've seen is separated, but they've just made it one long continuous piece, right? So it's kind of like a hybrid between, so imagine like gasket mount, but now they've added a leaf spring to really just like lift it up, right? So that is the mounting style. And for the mounting points, you have 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. Oh, this one's gone. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, I'm always like losing this one. I think it's because I picked it off earlier. That's what I get. Hello, interloper. This one is a very easy. This one will be a very easy video. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Nice. Yeah, we have to do the Nama and then we have to do this one. Welcome back. I hope you had a good time. I hope you ate lots of good food, got a tan, surfed some waves, enjoyed vacation with whoever you went with. But yeah. So that's like the quick overview of that. And then here we'll look at the product page really quick. And then I'll go over my thoughts. Okay, sorry for the flashbang. But this is the website, TickType, right? And then here you can see all the DP104s, right? I know. So I have this one, but we can look at this one, which is... So this one is similar to the beige, but it's not going to be like as colorful as the other one, right? So starting price $190 or $199, so $200. Here's all the specs. So interactive pixel display. So this display can either display what you're typing. Wait. Oh yeah, so you can do a custom pixel, firework typing mode, real-time typing mode, so that's when it like copies what you're typing. Audio reactive mode, so it has like a mic that can, or it like, if you're talking, right, it will like play those audio levels. Scrolling message mode, and then system status mode, right? So 6 different modes for that. When you're buying this, looks like this one, they only have the Linear, but if you look at this one, it does have like the multiple, right? Intro or the description, it is tri-mode, structure, triple dampening system, dual bridge, PP plate. Yeah, so all the boards come with PP plates. Keycaps are PBT. But yeah, so this one is the one I had, but we can look at, for example, like this one. This one is like the blue. The blue. But yeah, that's just a quick overview. So these are all pre-built. And then if you're interested in the Evos, these are also here. But yeah. So let's talk my thoughts. So I mentioned this a little bit ago, but I feel like price point wise, like the lower you get, the more like acceptable that if things aren't like quite as like cohesive or like as impressive, it's kind of like, well, it's fine because it's like it was only like so and so much, right? I don't want to say like not having like a high standard just because of like the price point, but I will say that this board I was very like pleasantly surprised. But here's the thing. I don't normally buy or build pre-builts, so it's hard for me to compare this to what is already on the market, right? And as someone who is a, keyboard reviewer, um, actually, I didn't hate it, um, and I just feel like it's a little hard to compare this to like other boards because I haven't built or I haven't bought other custom boards. However, based on the reputation of like QWERTY keys and like in general, like even as someone who doesn't really work with pre-builts, I think the quality is definitely good. I see where they like cut corners, but I guess some would say like 200 is a little bit high, but then if you look at like who would their competitors be? Let's see. Like let me just look up real quick. Like from Amazon. Okay, so if you were to get a competitive or competitor price, right? You could get something similar for about like $100, right? So this is going to be more expensive, right? But I guess you would have to compare like everything you get with the IPA Maker versus like what you would get with this one, right? And I think this one stands out because it has a screen. So if this is something you are interested in, right? Some would say like it's kind of gimmicky, but at the same time I do think it's like really cool, right? Interactive pixel display. And it does kind of match the theme of like the whole, it's the D-pad, it's like gaming, this is like a toy, like that toy theme, right? So I do think it is incorporated well on this one. However, I do think the other colors, I think it's a little bit of a harder um sell in the sense of like they have like a cutesy blue one, but then it has like the pixelated screen. So I think that's partially why they created like the fireworks, right? It's to kind of like go along with like the more like cutesy girlies, right? So I will say this is more expensive than like their competitor. However, it's like as someone who is more geared towards like the enthusiast side of things, I do think this was actually, you know, I do think it was a good board, right? In the sense of like I was impressed by it just based on like the build quality and also I mean, I'm not used to this sound because it's not something I usually build with, but just like the stabs out of the box were fine. The screen was like really cool. The fact that these are like working interactive buttons, other things are cleverly designed. I do like the way it looks in certain places. Um, and then I want to say it's definitely a more premium pre-built, but I do feel like it's a little harder for me to say that just because like I've never bought like their competitors or I haven't bought like other pre-mades. But based on like the pre-mades I know at least compared to other gaming brands, I'm not gonna say who, but it's like I feel like this board is so much cooler and so much like aesthetically pleasing than like certain boards that are pre-built and also at like the $200 price point, if that makes sense. However, this is something that you have to you'd have to like the aesthetic. So if you're looking for something like, like retro or gaming related, I think this ticks off a lot of the boxes, especially if you like the whole like pixelated look, right? And that's something that I've always thought that QK does really well is, or just like QK Owl Labs, like I feel like their boards are they have very good cohesion, and you see that here. Um, I do think uh, that's just like me nitpicking, um, but I do feel kind of bad for like the girlies that like the colors, but then like this is like pixelated, and it might clash with the aesthetic. But that's just like me like thinking. However, if I were going for like a gaming looking like a retro cool, D-pad, gaming pad, keyboard, like this would check a lot of the boxes for me. Um, and then just from like the design standpoint, I think a lot of things were incorporated really cleverly. It does use Pogo Pin, which is nice. There's not much room for user error unless like you take it apart, but just like fully built, you don't have to worry about like the screws because it does use a ball catch. I think my only gripe is I'm surprised that it only uses like the 6 points for the ball catch and none like on the side or maybe like closer to the edge. And I I wonder why they opted to go with like the leaf spring instead of just keeping it strictly like the silicone gasket. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying I wonder what their reasoning behind that was. Um and I wonder if that like makes it more expensive by adding like the leaf spring parts versus like had they had just done like the silicone sock, like would it have been cheaper? Could they have made it like a more competitive price? But that's like that's not that's not my job to think about that. There's a cutout right here because this board is very RGB, very bling bling, and I do like that. So if you like really colorful boards, like check this out. Like you have Perky, you have this neat screen, so I put on the fireworks, and then you have this like light strip right here, and then you also have like two cutouts right here, right? So if you like really colorful boards with like ambient lighting and you like the screen that you can like interact with, so here I'm changing the colors. Um, and look, so it has like one, but then look. Whoa! Like like that's kind of shit that sorry, I shouldn't curse. Like that's the kind of thing that's like, very gimmicky, but people like that. I know, sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah. Um Overall, like I would actually feel comfortable recommending this to someone, you know. I think that's like my gauge. It's like would I recommend this board to someone who is looking for it? And yeah, I would actually feel very comfortable recommending it to someone. Not only do they give you like extra switches and they give you like the keycaps, it comes in a cool carrying case. You get everything done for under $200. It's the full size that people really like for some reason, like especially for the people who never use the numpad but insist on having the numpad, like it's there for them. Um, yeah, yeah, I would feel comfortable recommending this to someone who wanted to buy it. There's some things where I'm like, oh, but I get it, like cut costs to kind of like make it as affordable as possible. But yeah, yeah, I like the board. I actually do like the keycaps. I think it's really clever how they've incorporated some of the things. Um, you know what? I actually want to look at something real quick. So these are the keycaps they give you that you can swap out if you want. So it looks like, yeah, you can change to a regular enter in case you don't want the tick type branding. Um, and then they have the keys for the Mac if you decide to do that. Oh yeah, so automatically they put the tick type branding on here, but they give you keys so you can change it if you don't want it, which is nice. I think that's very nice. And then they also give you the keys for Mac if you decide to use that, right? So, and then the board itself is, it's hefty, but they give you a nice carrying case so you can take it to and from the office. So, yeah. Yeah. What'd you guys think? Do you guys like it? Or is the consensus I don't hate it? which is not the worst, you know? That's acceptable. It's like what is it? Is it from Shrek? It's like that'll do. That'll do. Uh does it use VIA? This is a great question. Let me see. They actually don't mention anything about that. Let me see if it's recognized. Yes, that is something that it is a fixed layout, so that can be kind of rough for some people. Boop, 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 boop. Can I use it's recognized in VIA, but let me see, maybe Vile? It may not be Vile. No, it's not Vile. I will ask. I will ask. Oh yeah, when this is that will do pig, right? Yeah, I mean that's a fair thing to say. Having a fixed layout for PCB is a deal breaker, yeah, because it forces you to the 6.25 and also the steps. I mean the regular caps. And then I could see some people like not liking the screen or, you know, wanting to turn certain things off, but I don't know if that's like possible. But yeah. Okay. I'm sorry I couldn't answer your question. I don't know if it uses Vile or Via because it's not on their website, unfortunately. But I will ask for you. Yeah. Yes. Let me ask and then I'll let you know next time. But yeah, that's about it. I know it's a really fast review, but it was something that was already pre-built. And I'm pretty sure it's designed with foam in mind, so. We have watch party. Do we have the people to watch party? Of course. Because I do need to I need to tie some knots for the craft thing tomorrow, so I'd be down to end stream and just like watch party. If people are around. Fire cherry is so good. Anyways, but yeah, that's the build. Thank you, Chick Type, for sending it out to me. Thank you for watching. Sorry I'm eating a cherry. Okay, thanks YouTube. Bye-bye. Oh god.